Good evening. I am calling to order the Fountain City Council meeting for May 12th. Please stand with the Pledge of Allegiance. Councilmember Estes, would you like to lead the pledge tonight? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Mayor Thompson.
I've been having too much Coke. Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Estes.
Here.
Councilmember Veerhoff.
Here.
Councilmember Geek.
Here.
Councilmember Rick.
Here.
Councilmember Hersberg.
Here.
Councilmember Ruffinock.
Here.
I have 7 members present.
Great. Before we begin our meeting tonight, this is Police Week, a week when we remember police officers, everything they do, but especially those who have lost their life in the line of duty. So if you would please join us for just a moment of silence, please. Thank you very much. All right, that takes us on to item 4, public to be heard. Citizens may address the council on items that are not on the agenda. Council may not be able to provide an immediate answer, but will direct staff to follow up. Out of respect for the council and others in attendance, please limit your comments to 5 minutes or less. I have 2 cards tonight. I have the first one from Mr. Foster. If you would come down and state your name for the record, please.
Stephen Foster. Hello, Mayor and Council. Thank you for having me here tonight. Thank you for your service to our city, as you're never appreciated enough. I'm here tonight in my last official role as Heritage Special Improvement Maintenance District Board member. I have served the citizens of Heritage for over 18 years, most of these as chairman. I have been thinking of resigning for the past couple years, but we've never had a full board. We now have 8 new applicants to fill our board requirements. I only wish administration would have given our current 3 board members that are limited, or their terms are up, to reapply for their current seats. As we were notified on May 6th at 5:07 p.m. That we will have to vacate our seats on the board, even though our board has had no term limits, only term expiration. As such, the citizens are losing 60% that are experienced members, and now we'll have almost 90% membership that has less than 9 months of experience. The other 2 members that I'm speaking of that are made to vacate are among the best, if not the best people that it has been my pleasure to serve. I think it's a great disservice to the citizens of Heritage to have these people involuntarily terminated and not have a transition period due to the many problems we have encountered previously and are still facing today. As far as oversight regarding monies spent on improving our district, I will strongly suggest that council get more involved, as only 2 council members have attended any of our meetings, and only after being invited to do so. I hope council will work closely with this new board. They will need your oversight now more than ever. In closing, I thank you for having the faith in me to allow me to have served the citizens in a financially responsible and environmentally friendly role. I also thank Jim Watson and Sylvia Huffman for being great mentors and building trust with us that has now been destroyed by current staff. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Foster, and thank you for 18 years. You don't find the amount of time that you and Suzanne have put onto that board. You just don't find that in a lot of places. So thank you very much for all that time and really appreciate it.
Well, it's been mostly a pleasure. We've done, I think, great things in Heritage.
Yes.
And we still have some problems that need addressed, and we have a park that still needs finished. It's 2 years in and still not finished. So I think that really, really needs addressed on that. So
All right. Well,
I
you've got
encourage
my number.
everybody to look into that. And
Great. All right. Well, you've got my number anytime, right? All right. The second card I have is from Suzanne Foster. Again, thank you, Suzanne, for your time, too.
All right. Mayor Thompson and council members, good evening. My name is Suzanne Foster, and I'm here tonight to personally extend my appreciation and best wishes as I conclude my service on the Heritage Special Maintenance Improvement District Board. After serving since September 2007, nearly 19 years, I am finally term expired and stepping away from my appointment. While I would have preferred to make it an even 20 years, as I have never been a fan of odd numbers, I am grateful to see the increased community involvement and enough volunteers stepping forward to fill these important seats representing the Heritage District. I sincerely welcome the incoming board members and applaud their willingness to serve both their neighborhood and the city of Fountain. Volunteering in this capacity has always been deeply meaningful to me, and I have often said that serving the community gives back far more than the time invested. My hope is that future board members will approach their responsibilities with a spirit of collaboration, stewardship, and commitment to what is best for the entire heritage community and the city of Fountain as a whole. Before relinquishing my position, however, I would be remiss if I did not respectfully share several concerns that I believe deserve attention at this time. Currently, the board consists of 5 members. One member appointed last September has only attended 1 meeting. Another has served since July 2023 and regularly attends meetings, and 2 members, in addition to myself, are also term expired and preparing to leave the board. This means that the incoming members will soon compromise the majority of the board, and I believe it would be a benefit to both the district and the new appointees to allow for a transition in a learning period. There is substantial institutional knowledge tied to ongoing district matters, particularly long-standing maintenance and drainage issues involving the detention pond within Heritage. This issue has existed since I joined the board back in 2007, and despite many years of discussion involving the former city attorneys, city council members, and the former Mayor Howells, responsibility for the maintenance and liability remains unclear. At one point, a former city attorney stated, and I quote, "As a practical matter, since the district is created by the city of Fountain and is not a separate legal entity or a separate political division, the liability for failure to maintain drainage would probably fall on the city of Fountain." This remains a potentially significant and costly issue, and is critical that the incoming board members understand the history and the legal uncertainty surrounding it. Recently, the board was informed by the city clerk that it may need to seek independent legal counsel regarding future questions and concerns, despite the city attorney providing guidance to the board with those legal costs being billed back to the district. This apparent procedural change raises understandable concerns. The Heritage Board is made up entirely of volunteers working in good faith to oversee taxpayer funds responsible and serve the community, responsibly and serve the community. We rely on the city's guidance in navigating legal and procedural matters and hope that the relationship can continue moving forward. Another ongoing concern is the unfinished status of Heritage Park. Discussions regarding partnership with the city on park development began in April and May of 2023. While the board agreed to help fund a portion of the playground and park improvements, while I personally had reservations about the district contributing funds toward a city-owned park project, the board ultimately moved forward in hopes of finally seeing this park completed for the community after many years of discussion. And it is a city park, not a heritage park. It is a city park. Construction and playground installation began in spring of 2024, yet the park remains unfinished today. Additionally, landscaping materials reportedly stored for future were lost due to plants and bushes remaining unplanted and uncared for an extended period of time. Replacement and installation were promised at the city's expense. However, to date, those improvements have not been completed, despite nearly 2 years of having passed since the project began. 2 years. There is also unresolved issues regarding signage at the entrance to Heritage on Descendant Drive. Concerns were raised that the work did not meet expected board standards, and requests were made to withhold payment until repairs were completed and approved. After a year of inquiries, the board was informed that the sign company no longer wishes to work with the city, and will not make the necessary corrections, leaving the district without any resolution despite payment already being made. There are additional matters I could address, but in the interest of time, I wanted to highlight what I believe are some of the most significant issues for the council and the incoming board members to be aware of during this transition. I would also encourage council members, especially those representing Ward 2, to consider attending a heritage meeting as they represent the heritage neighborhood and its residents. In closing, I want to express how I am personally proud of the past and current heritage board members have accomplished over the years. Together, we have worked diligently and selfishly to improve the aesthetics, functionality, and long-term sustainability of the heritage community and the city of Fountain. The board
Mrs.
oversaw.
Foster, if I could get you to wrap it up, please.
Okay. The board oversaw significant beautification and drought-tolerant landscape improvements throughout Heritage, including along the Fountain Mason Road and Legend Oak corridors. Through thoughtful planning, xeriscape efforts reduced maintenance costs, blah, blah, blah. Our efforts also contributed to Arbor Day and many other events and ultimately
Thank you,
helped
Mrs.
make.
Foster. Thank you, Mrs. Foster.
Okay,
Yeah, thank you very much.
okay. I
Thank
wasn't
you.
finished, but okay.
Thank you. All right, those are the only two cards that I have tonight. Thank you very much. All right, that takes us on to presentations. Item 5.1, presentations. We have a presentation from Mr. Simler and Mr. McDonald on the Fort Carson Micro Transit update.
Madam Mayor, thank you for having me. City Council, thank you for having me. It's truly an honor to be here with you.
Turn your mic on, please. Push the middle button. There you go.
We're good
Now
to
we
go.
gotcha.
That's why I have him around.
There you go.
We have done an amazing job, and when I say we, that's you. The City Council may not be aware of it, but you placed us in an incredible position to find success with this intergovernmental support agreement with Fort Carson, our transportation IGSA. Just as a reminder of what we're about, this is a micro-transit system that we are, Billy, we're not doing anything here. This is a micro-transit system that is unique. We are the second entity, the city of Fountain is, to establish one of these micro-transit systems on a military installation. And that's Department of War wide. So it's a very unique system. If you think of it as any type of a ride share that we're all used to, it is app-based and services soldiers, dependents, Department of Army, civilian employees, and contractors. We established core values with our team, and I can't emphasize enough the first bullet point you see there, service before self. This is a core component of everything that we do in this IGSA. It resonates with me. I'm a military brat. My family has served literally since the Revolutionary War. The saber you see there is in my brother's home in Tennessee. He's a combat Marine from Vietnam. That was from the Yorktown battle and has been put up through our family over the years. Our mission commitment, straightforward. We are looking to enhance the welfare, the overall morale, especially of soldiers on Fort Carson. This is a game changer for them. I'll give you an example of what happened down at Fort Hood, the first place to implement this. They went from 3,000 riders a year on their shuttle service to a year and a half transitioning to what we're doing with our microtransit system to 500,000 riders in a year and a half. So it has been embraced by the community down at Fort Hood to a tremendous level. Accountability. We represent the city of Fountain. We recognize that. We are operating in support of the Fourth ID mission. We have leadership by ownership. There is no finger pointing. We own everything that we do. And that goes down to each driver, each dispatcher, and my team leaders who are here with me today. And I would be remiss if I didn't point these two gentlemen out. You guys want to go ahead and stand up, please? Gabriel Vallejos is our lead driver. Gabriel has 4 combat tours, 3 out of Fort Carson as a Cav Scout and 1 out of Fort Campbell. 2 combat tours in Iraq and 2 in Afghanistan. My lead dispatcher, the brains of this organization, Chris Suarez, spent 15 years running all of the operations, dispatch operations for AMR. These two are just incredible assets, and I applaud them for the work they've already put in. Thanks, guys. Customer service, we are absolutely 100% focused on it. We believe that we have to have empathy for everyone that we serve on Fort Carson. We don't care if it's a major general, if it's General Ellis, or a brand new private. They will be treated the same way with great respect and empathy. The branding of this is unique. We did a lot of work. Our consultants on this, HTG, Nicole Krim and Raymond Suarez, and Raymond's actually on watching this right now, did an absolutely just a superlative job in supporting us in our branding. What you see there is the Carson Connector. That's ours. We own that. We were the ones that came up with the idea. We also came up with the idea of the statue of Kit Carson to be used on all of our vehicles. When the app is downloaded, and I will tell you that the app is not the Carson Connector app, it's Ride Fountain Transit app, because we have a vision for how we can grow this within our own community here outside of the gates of Fort Carson. So they will download the app. You see the app icon there. We have them on the back of our vans and a QR code, and they download it just like you would any other app that you would use with a rideshare service. We've had some significant milestones. We just stood this up on November 3rd of last year. We're ready to go fully operational June 1. That is a feat in and of itself, and the ability to be able to pull that off is not due to my efforts. It's due to your efforts to have the right people and the right leadership moving this forward. So we're excited. We'll have what we're calling a soft launch on May 26th, and we're already working out some of the bugs in any technical-based, app-based system. There's things that need to be worked out, but we're moving along very, very rapidly on that. I've already gone over some of this, our next steps. We're in training. We just hired 20-plus people, and they are going through intensive training right now. This is not just bring them on board and let them go out and start the job. This is a very precise way that we're moving this initiative forward with just some incredible candidates. So the city has been able to bring on up to 25 new employees, and through the hard work of John Trilich, making sure this IGSA was put in place, I think that's a great achievement for the city. Closing, every trip matters. Every passenger matters. Every driver and dispatcher is a leader, and this will be always focused on placing service before self. I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Thank you very much. Just want to make a comment. You said 25 new employees, and those employees work for the Carson Connector. However, the city of Fountain is not paying for them. Is that correct, Mr. Trilch?
That's correct, Mayor. So in the IGSA program, any services we provide to Fort Carson fully funds all of the expenses associated with that service. So in this case, for the microtransit IGSA, all of those employees are being fully funded by Fort Carson through the payments they make to us for the services we provide.
Okay. Wanted to make sure everybody understood
No,
that.
that makes total sense, ma'am.
Yes. Thank you so much. This is exciting.
It's
I look forward
incredible.
to seeing this work. Might even come over and, John, get me in and get a ride one
We
day or
will,
something,
we will
huh?
make sure we get you a ride. Anybody else
Yep.
that would like to come over and see it, we're happy to do that. Hopefully, this expands out. We have such a huge military community here. We want to see that service reach them as well.
Right. Well, I've been in a lot of meetings for transportation this year, big discussion in the state, and I think a lot of people agree we've got to start getting more innovative in the way we run our transportation systems, or they're not going to be around.
Yes, ma'am, I appreciate you.
Yeah. Mr. Evans?
Sure, just a quick comment. This program is the way it's unfolding, and just commend all three of you gentlemen, just doing a fantastic job. To the point that our Region 2 CDOT Commissioner, actually, this was a topic that she brought up during one of the state CDOT meetings as a model that everyone in the state is watching. So we appreciate all your efforts, and it's being talked about at the state level already. So I look forward to see what's coming in the future.
Yes, sir, thank you.
Don't disappear yet.
Okay, I'll stay as long as you need me.
Councilmember Verhoff?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just want to tell you thank you, and as well as staff, John Trilch, and for bringing this and the hard work that's gone into this. We talked at length about implementing this for the care of the soldiers, and I greatly appreciate the work that's gone into this, so thank you.
It's our pleasure, and I would, again, be remiss if I didn't thank my immediate report. Bob McDonald has just done an incredible job, and his staff have done an incredible job of supporting this, so a great debt of gratitude to him. I also want to just, and I will leave, thank you. I'm a 20-year law enforcement officer and served as a major crimes detective with the sheriff's office. And I thank you for your words starting this out. It means a lot to me.
Thank you very much. I
Yes, ma'am.
think we just about all of us hit the blue thing tonight, too, so, in recognition of Police Week, so thank you.
Appreciate you, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, any other questions from anybody? I am excited. This has been a long time coming. I don't know how many years ago, I fought at PPACT to take funding away from another entity to help see this become a vision, so good thing to see it come into fruition. Okay, we have a presentation to Mr. Finlan for his many years of service, and Mr. Evans, are you doing that?
First, Gordy McCormick, our Parks
Okay.
Director, is going to come up and have a few words, and I've got a couple for Bill as well. Bill, come on up, please. Join Gordy.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council members. We have Mr. Bill Finlan here with us. Just a little history on Bill. Bill served in the Army for 22 years. Following that, he served on the El Paso County Sheriff's Department for another 18 years. And then after that, he served the city of Fountain with code enforcement. Then he started our recycling program. Then he served with me as the volunteer coordinator for the city, the first one. And it's just been an honor to be serving with somebody like Bill, who's donated over 60 years of his life into serving his community and his country all at different levels. And we just wanted to take a moment of your time to show our appreciation toward everything he's done, not only for the city of Fountain, but to the county and to the country. And Todd, you've known Bill a lot longer than me.
Well, Gordy asked today, the Parks Department had a wonderful little lunch for Bill today. The only thing I'm disappointed in is that Miss Finlan wasn't there, Bill, so we wish she was there as well. But it was a great lunch, and Gordy asked how long Bill and I had known each other, and it's been over 30 years now. But the different, Mike brought up, service before self, and Bill is the example of that. I don't think we will see another Bill Finlan. You don't see people these days that give 60 years of their life to serve others. So I just wanted to make sure, Bill, as this is Police Appreciation, bless you, Police Appreciation Week, that we included your service to this entire county through the Sheriff's Office. We thank you. We appreciate you. We won't see another like you. And Bill made sure that we knew he's not leaving his projects with our historic TB huts or the jail. He's going to make sure that he finishes those out until we lose him permanently. But Bill, the speaker is yours, and absolutely a speech is necessary.
That's far from it. I've really enjoyed my time here. They've allowed me to find projects. They would let me proceed with the project. And a lot of the projects that I've been doing, they have been almost of no cost to the city because I've scrounged for, well, I worked total time with the recycle center. I actually started there in 2014, the second day that it was ever opened. And I worked there for 3 years as a volunteer. Then I hired on with code enforcement. And I did 2 years there, took a little vacation, and then came back and worked with the Parks Department and code enforcement for 2, and then with Parks. Well, no, actually, I went back and ran the recycle center, which was a very productive enterprise for the city. We were serving customers from at least 4 adjoining counties there that were regular customers and coming here because we were the only recycle center in this area. And there were months that we had almost 800 customers in a 3-day cycle, and it was just phenomenal. Made a lot of friends there. I still see them even after they've been closed. They'll stop me in Walmart or whatever and chat. Then I moved over there, and fortunately, my recycle center was right where Parks is, so I didn't have to do anything to move into Parks. And I had all of my collected up garbage and stuff that I had collected over the period of time, and I'm using it now. Whether it be rocks, boulders I've spotted and found, whether it be 4x6 lumber that is no longer being used. Well, it may not be used, it may not be real pretty, but it can be reused in other places. But I'd like to thank Gordy. It's been a good ride, and you're not getting rid of me, right? I'm just getting off the payroll. So, okay, thank you. You bet. Thank you.
That's like almost 100 years' worth of volunteer time between 3 people in this room. So come on, people, step up. You got some big shoes to fill. Thank you very much. And I think Mr. Fennelson had our recycling center looking one of the best I've ever seen. All his little projects over there, and you'd go over, and every time you went over, he had it, come on over here and let me show you this new thing I built and what I made it out of. And it was always fun. I know he was really good to my son over there, so thank you, Bill. All righty, that takes us on to item 5.2, Board, Commission, and Committees, appointment of Heritage Maintenance District members.
Madam Mayor, well, I live in the Heritage District, and I am happy to vote. I am not going to nominate any of the candidates because, well, they are my neighbors and people that I know.
Okay. And I know looking through this list, there's a couple I know on here too, but, you know, I appreciate everybody stepping up. And I appreciate it when I've said for years and years and years to people when they're upset about something, come get on a board or committee. And I know a couple of the names on there are people that I told that to. So I'm really happy to finally see some people stepping up and seeing those names on there. So with that, I'm going to go ahead. I am going to read out all the names. If you could just stand when I read your name so we can see who's here tonight. And then if you would like to, after I call all the names out, I will call your name, and if you'd like to come down and say something before we make any nominations. I'm going to ask council that we're going to do the nominations one at a time. Please don't nominate more than one person, and because we have 8 applications for 7 spots, 5 for regular members and 3 for and 2 for alternate members, which is a great way for people to get some training. So the first name I'm going to call out in no order, they're just the order they were in the packet or the order I stapled them together, is Floyd Willis. Please stand. Okay, Tabby Rackley, I'm sorry. Been calling you wrong name all these years. Nathan Warford. Okay, Stephanie Granning. Okay. Robert Bob Trout. Troud. Okay, all righty. Diamond Nestor. Okay. Holly Bin. John Cole. All right. So again, Holly Bin. Okay, all right, if you guys could just have a seat, and if you want to come down and say something about yourself a little bit, just tell us. We have read through all your applications, and thank you for everybody for applying. I really, really appreciate it. This is the kind of really a great place to start with self-government of your own area. So Floyd Willis, if you wanted to come down and say anything, and just push the middle button there.
Hi, good evening, everybody. So I just moved into Heritage last year. We bought our house there. We had been moving around. I was former military and settled in, and we've decided we're not going anywhere. We want to be here. We want to make this our home. And we rented before we bought for a couple of years in Colorado Springs, and we would tell all our friends we're looking for a place, and they'd say, "Oh, don't go down to Fountain," and you don't want to go down there. And we ignored them and went down there, and we're like, we really like this Heritage place. It's and because it looks like there's been a lot of care and effort put into that, and making it a wonderful little community for families that. When I saw this opportunity, I was like, I want to be a part of that and help maintain that and keep that, and the same thing that attracted me to allow it to attract others.
Thank you very much. Next person, Tabby Rackley.
Good evening, everyone. A little bit about myself. I'm a mom of 3 children. I have lived in the Heritage community for 19 years. I was the original homeowner on my home. My kids are now grown. One is in the Navy and one is in college in a dorm. I do have one more at the house. To the previous board members, I love this community. Thank you for everything. I raised my kids in this community. I'm not leaving this community because this is already a great community, and I want to give back and see now in this new world that, this new phase of my life, that my children are older. I do want to give back to this community and see how I can support. So thank you, everyone, for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you. All right, Nathan Wofford.
Yeah, I've been a resident for nearly 30 years of Heritage Original, back when I could see nothing but green and listen to crickets all the way to Apple Tree Golf Course. I've had a few contacts and interactions with the City of Fountain, all positive, thank goodness. Put in a few services before, and I've got some family members as well with City of Fountain. Interestingly enough, I did not even know about the Heritage Board until the signs went up. And I was like, wow, nothing was ever mentioned in all those years when I bought a house back in -- that it even existed. And so I'm a member of a few boards, state boards for healthcare, home healthcare, in the CDAS program, pretty familiar with the processes. I operate 3 companies as well. And when I saw this opportunity, I thought it was unique, and I decided to take what I do diversely and maybe see about applying it with this board as well.
Great, thank you very much. Stephanie Granning? I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Granning, okay.
You were close enough. Good evening, everybody. I kind of feel the same way as most of them. I saw the signs and I did not know that there was a board. We have lived in our home we bought about 6 years ago, but we rented previously and we just loved the community, so we had to buy in that area. My husband was military here and got out Fort Carson about 11 years ago, and we couldn't leave. We just love Fountain and did not want to go back to Minnesota. But we just want to see the improvement continue to grow, because we do live pretty close to Heritage Park. We have seen a lot of the maintenance and the things that you guys have done and wanted to be a part of it. We just didn't know how. So I'm here and hope to be able to help and serve my community in some way, if possible.
All right, thank you very much. And those signs were the idea of the the board, current board. So, yep, good idea, you guys. All right, Robert Trout.
Good evening, everyone. Good to be here. Thanks for inviting me. My name's Bob Trout. I go by Bob. I'm a graduate of Fountain Fort Carson High School. I've lived in the area for quite some time. I've lived in the Heritage subdivision pretty much since it became the subdivision. I'm the original owner of my house on Hibbard Lane. I worked for Don Hibbard when he owned the property. I used to bale hay for him when I was in high school. And then my mom lived across the street on Cordy Soul. So I've lived in the area for quite a while. I've made my career here in the area. I'm a retired HR professional, worked predominantly at psychiatric hospitals across the Front Range. Also worked at the Lowe's store up on the Mesa for a while as their HR manager. I've been involved with Boy Scouts, what formerly was known as Boy Scouts. Both of my sons graduated from Fountain Fort Carson High School. I was a baseball coach for Fountain Valley Little League. So my why, as far as why do I want to do this, like I said, I live in Heritage. I've lived there for some time, and thanks to the Fosters for doing what they've done. I think it's time to pick up the baton and move forward with some of the work that's been created. As far as transitioning, I'm used to starting new jobs and starting from ground zero, so I've got an open, fresh mind and a willing attitude. So I appreciate the nomination and your consideration for me in this role. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, Diamond Nestor.
Hi, good evening. I don't have anything prepared, but I was in the Marine Corps, and I recently moved here about 1.5 years ago with my sister, and then her husband, who's in the Navy, took a job with Secret Service and moved to DC. So my kids love it. I'm a single mom. I have 2 children in the district, and I substitute teach with them. I decided I don't want to do a regular job in the government that I've been doing for about 20 years. I want to do something that's kind of giving back to the community, so I'm getting a master's degree in English to teach English, hopefully at the high school. Here in the next couple of years. So hopefully I can give back. I have a lot of random skills. I'm a demonstrated master logistician, if I can say that properly. But yeah, so hopefully I can give back to the community, and thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. All right, John Cole.
Good evening. My name is John Cole. I've lived in Fountain since 2004. I've lived in Heritage since then. Second home for my family. We moved from Florida. Started with the Sheriff's Office here in 2004. Spent the last 30 years both serving the communities in police and fire, emergency services. Previously served on the Parks Board here. Did that for a couple of terms and enjoyed it. And we're empty nesters now, like a lot of people here. So we raised our 4 children, and they've all left the nest, but we're still in the home, obviously. And just as time allows, you allow yourself, as you get older, you find some boards and other stuff to keep yourself busy. And I like to say, I'm like a lot of people here. The first couple of years I lived in the house, I knew the board was there. I saw it when I signed the mountain of paperwork buying the home, but didn't really know a lot about it, and was blissfully ignorant for a number of years. Stuff was just being done in the background, and enjoyed with other board members doing the stuff and those doing that work and being stewards. So just wanted to, thought it was, when I saw the signs, and thought, well, let me put in for that too, because I felt I've spent my good part of my life here and wanted to see others benefit the same as that I have.
All right, thank you very much. Righty, Holly Ben. You make it?
She notified staff she wouldn't be here this evening. She's at a concert for her child today.
Oh, into school year stuff. Okay, thank you very much. All righty, Madam Clerk, I am going to assume it would be easier for you if we took care of the 5 regular vacancies first and then did the 2 alternates.
Yes, that would be great. And I
Okay.
have it set up for a vote for each individual applicant.
And you want us to vote for each
appointment.
individual?
Yes, please.
Okay, all righty, sounds good. Okay, when I will take a motion, someone to nominate, Councilmember Hertzberg.
Thank you, Mayor. And I just want to, before I make my first nomination or motion, just to personally thank the exiting board members from the Heritage. I don't live in Heritage now, but I did for 17 years, so my family was a benefactor of your hard work and dedication. So just a special thank you to Steve and to Suzanne Foster, and also thank you to Alan Rainville for your years of dedicated service. So I and my family thank you. Our community thanks you. With that, I would like to nominate as a member of the board, Tabitha Rackley.
Okay, I have a motion for Tabitha Rackley as a member of the board. Is there a second? Marcia Geek?
I second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any deliberation? Seeing none, please vote. We're waiting on the machine, so it's not that we're not voting.
All right, we'll take a verbal vote for this. For regular member, number 1,
Tabitha Rackley.
Mayor Thompson, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Estes, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilmember Veerhoff, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilmember Geek, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilmember Rick, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilmember Hertzberg, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilmember Ruffinock, how do you vote?
Yes.
I have 7 yes, motion carried.
Okay, thank you. Congratulations, Tabby. I don't think I've ever called you Tabitha, so. Okay. All right, do we have another motion for a second regular member? Councilmember Geek.
I'd like to nominate Nathan Wolford.
Okay, we have a nomination for Nathan Wolford as a regular board member. Do we have a second? Councilmember Estes.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further deliberation? Seeing none, please vote.
I have 2 members who have not voted. Interesting. Okay, Councilmember Veerhoff, how do you vote?
Aye.
Yes. And then Councilmember Estes, how do you vote?
Yes.
I have 7 yes, motion carried.
Okay. Do I have a nomination for a third member of the regular board? Councilmember Estes.
I nominate Bob Trout.
Okay, we have a motion for Bob Trout. Do we have a second? Councilmember Veerhoff.
I second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, please vote. It's just taking its time to come up for some reason. Okay.
Okay, Councilmember Veerhoff, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilmember Estes, how do you vote?
Yes.
I have 7 yes, motion carried.
We have a motion for the fourth member as a regular. We got Councilmember Rick.
Madam Mayor, move to appoint John Cole to the Heritage Maintenance District Board.
Okay, we have a motion for John Cole. Do we have a second? Councilmember Veerhoff.
Madam Mayor, I would just ask that we take a pause and have IT take a look at mine and Councilmembers.
I'm okay with just doing it the way we're doing it, so, do we have a second? Councilmember Geek?
Yeah, second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Do we have any further deliberation? Seeing none, those that are able, please vote.
Councilmember Veerhoff, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilmember Estes, how do you vote?
Yes.
I have 7 yes, motion carried.
Thank you very much. And the final fifth, right? Final fifth person for the regular vacancy. Do I have a nomination for someone? Councilmember Estes.
I nominate Stephanie Granning.
Okay, we have a nomination for Stephanie Granning. Do we have a second? Councilmember Hertzberg.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any further deliberation? Seeing none, please vote.
Councilmember Veerhoff, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilmember Estes, how do you vote?
Yes.
I have 7 yes, motion carried.
Thank you very much. Congratulations to all the 5 regular board members that have been elected tonight. Now we're going to move on to the 2 alternate member vacancies to be filled. And obviously, there's 3 names, there's 2 spots. I'm hoping whoever is not the one that gets picked, you'll hang around. They are open meetings to the public, so you're welcome to come to the meeting, see how the board works. There's always people moving in and out of the community, or for some reason, somebody, can't serve. So please don't think if you're the one not picked, it just is what it is tonight, and we don't want you to leave. So, alrighty, who would like to make a nomination for the first alternate? Councilmember Rick.
Move to nominate Diamond Nestor for alternate member.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second? Councilmember Verhoff.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further deliberation? Seeing none, please vote. Okay, and our second alternate.
Oh, Councilmember Veerhoff, how do you
I'm
vote?
sorry.
It's okay.
Yes.
Councilmember Estes, how do you vote?
Yes.
I have 7 yes, motion carried.
Thank you. All righty. Councilmember Rick.
Move to nominate Floyd Willis for the alternate member for the Heritage Maintenance District Board.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second? Councilmember Estes.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further deliberation? Seeing none, please vote.
Councilmember Veerhoff, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilmember Estes, how do you vote?
Yes.
I have 7 yes, motion carried.
All right, thank you very much. Congratulations to 7 members on the Heritage Board. I don't think I've ever seen that many people on the Heritage Board. I know for years they've been begging and trying to figure out how to get word out. So congratulations for stepping up. Thank you very much. And I know staff will be having some training meetings with you and everything. And got questions. You've got great staff to answer those questions for you. Anything else, Madam Clerk or Mr. Evans, on that?
No, thank you.
All right. Congratulations again. Okay, that takes us on to the consent agenda. I have had a request from a member to hold off on item 7C, the request for in-kind sponsorship from Councilmember Rufinock. And because you are probably going to recuse yourself when we will vote on that. So we'll pull that off the consent agenda and then handle it under new business. So is everybody okay with pulling off 7C?
Point of order, Madam Mayor.
Yes, sir.
We skipped item 6.
Thank you. Darn, I am trying to get this meeting over faster and faster. I'm on a roll. I am on a roll. Okay, we will back up to item 6 and then we will, but now y'all know we're going to remove 7C. So, okay, the excitement's
So,
over.
While we're doing 6, do we want to let IT try to troubleshoot this, or do we want to take a break, or what do we want to do?
That's up to the clerk. What do you think?
I think we're trying to troubleshoot in the background currently.
Okay. All right. If he sneaks up behind you, don't worry about it. How's that? All right, thank you. All righty, item 6, Mr. Evans, we'll just go down your row. Man, quiet row. All right. Madam Clerk, anything from your office?
No, ma'am, thank you.
Okay. All right, IT is busy over there troubleshooting. We'll go on to Councilmember Verhoff.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just a couple of things. We had the wonderful Pikes Peak Military Affairs Council lunch last week with Mr. Trilch and several members of staff, and it was a wonderful event, getting to see the different awards given out to the different service members. American Legion and VFW's new leadership, just want to thank them and welcome them to their new roles. Fountain Valley Chamber has their coffee connection at 7 o'clock in the morning on Friday. So hopefully y'all can go to that. And big one is the end of the legislative session. So thankfully that's over with. Tomorrow I'm going to be going down in the later part of the afternoon to go thank our representatives. And if you're in the city, don't forget to pick up your dump voucher and go take your junk to the dump for a pretty reasonable price. I got to do it myself. So that's all I had, Madam Mayor.
All right, thank you very much. Councilmember Geek.
Yes, I got the honor of going to the 75th National Day of Prayer at the Gateway Prayer Garden, and it was an absolutely beautiful event with wonderful people, and I just want to say how nice it would be for everybody to go visit. It's just a beautiful place to go. So, thank you.
Thank you for covering that. I appreciate it. Councilmember Rufinock.
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Okay, Councilmember Rick.
Just an administrative announcement. I'm going to be out of town next week, Monday through Friday. I will still have access to my phone and email. I'll be available that way.
All right. Okay, Councilmember Hertzberg.
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
Councilmember Estes. You're disconnected. All right, I will go, and then I'll come back to you if you have anything. How's that? All righty. Okay, it has been a busy couple of weeks. I testified twice at the Capitol in opposition to Senate Bill 26-146. I did it virtually, and one time I only had to wait online for an hour to testify, and the other time I had to wait online 4 hours to testify. And thank heavens you get to testify from home. And I have written an email to Governor Polis in opposition of that bill. If you haven't heard about Senate Bill 26-146, it is a bill that if you do not ask for forks, ketchup packets, and napkins, that the business owner can be fined on their second offense up to $500. I made it very clear I thought that was not good for our small businesses, that some of them possibly $500 is the entire profit they might make for the day. So I'm going to read into the record the email that I sent to Governor Polis. And I think the thing that made me very sad was, while I appreciate the high school kids and the young adults who were up there testifying for this, I think to very flippantly say, if they get fined $500, they're saving it on not giving out ketchup packets was pretty dismissive to people who are working extremely hard to put food on the table for their families. So I wrote, Governor Polis, I am writing to respectfully express our opposition to Senate Bill 26-146. This bill represents a clear overreach of state authority into matters that are fundamentally local in nature. Decisions about how to manage these requirements are best made by local governments that understand the needs, constraints, and economic realities of their own communities. Beyond the home rule concerns, Senate Bill 26-146 is not business-friendly. The fines and enforcement mechanisms outlined in the bill could place significant burdens on small businesses, many of which are already operating on thin margins. The unintended consequence could be forcing some of these businesses to close, resulting in job losses and economic harm at the local level. A more constructive approach would be an educational opt-in model. The state could support both businesses and residents by developing and funding educational materials that encourage voluntary participation. This would promote awareness and positive behavior change without punitive measures that disproportionately affect small employers. I urge you to oppose Senate Bill 26-146 and support a path that respects local control, protects small businesses, and focuses on education rather than penalties. Thank you for your consideration, Sharon Thompson, Mayor of the City of Fountain. The bill is not signed by the governor yet, so if you would like to send him an email, that would be great, in opposition of Senate Bill 26-146. Goodness, I thought somebody was getting upset because they weren't going to get a plastic fork over there. All righty. So, I think it's a great thing to opt in. I mean, we all sometimes get a little bit too much taco sauce, but I don't need the state telling me that it's an issue. And if it is an issue, we can deal with it at a local level. So that was fun week. And I've been to multiple legislative meetings this week, probably multiple hours online, just trying to do stuff. I'm really excited, though. I believe our efforts as having a lobbyist in Denver are really, really paying off for our community. We were able to get many, many bills amended and defeated that would be of great detriment to our community, taking a lot of local control away, where things would just be done by right. And so somebody wanted to build an extra house on their property, they could split the lot without coming to the city. It would be done automatically, and just all sorts of stuff. That's stop asking yourself what they'll think of, because they seem to be doing really good at it. So, and I thank everybody in the community that spoke out about legalizing or decriminalizing prostitution. That was one of their ideas this year, too. So your voices are being heard, and you just pay attention. It's super easy. You go to Colorado Ledge and figure out what they're thinking of. But like Sean said, thankfully they're done tomorrow, hopefully early in the day. Okay, VFW installation was great. Got a lot of new people over there involved, and it's great to see that. Yes, the Armed Forces Luncheon was wonderful. And I just want to thank everybody on the Heritage Board for their years of service again. You guys have done a great job, so thank you very much. Appreciate it, and congratulations to everybody. So Councilmember Estes, are you live now? You are, okay.
I don't have anything this evening anyway, so.
Give her the mic and she doesn't have anything.
So for
Okay.
me, most of my board meetings are at the end of the month, so.
Okay, all right, so we'll hear from you next month. Okay, thank you, IT, very, very much for getting that done on the fly like that. Appreciate it. So, thank you. All righty. That's actually a budget request. No, I'm kidding. It breaks in the middle of the meeting, right? All righty. Okay, that takes us on to item 7, consent agenda. All items listed on the consent agenda are considered routine and will be approved with one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member or citizen so requests, in which case the item may be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately at the discretion of council. And Councilmember Rufinock, you had requested item 7C to be removed.
Yes, please.
All right, so that is the request. What would council like to do? Councilmember Rick.
Move to approve consent agenda items A and B only.
All right, we have that motion. Do we have a second? Councilmember Geek.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Please vote.
Councilmember Veerhoff, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilmember Estes, how do you vote?
Yes.
I have 7 yes, motion carried.
All right, thank you very much. All right, we go into item 8, old business. There is none. Item 9, new. 9A, consideration of items removed from the consent agenda. Okay, that will item 7C. So if you're going to recuse yourself, would you please?
Yes.
All right. No, we don't have to vote on it. I think we discussed that earlier. We do not have to vote on her recusing herself.
So it's the clerk's understanding that you don't have to vote if you are recusing yourself. However, if you have a conflict and you wish to stay, then there has to be a vote to allow you to stay.
Okay? No, it's okay. Good to have it clarified. Thank you very much. All righty, so let me find item, I had kind of stapled my consent agenda together. So item C, let me find it. Okay. Request for city in-kind sponsorship for 2026 Fountain Up Community Event. And Madam Clerk?
Fountain Up has requested an event permit with in-kind services from the city. This is their 5th annual event. There are members of the board available if there's any questions. Other than that, there was a meeting with staff and the representatives of the board, and staff has acknowledged that, yes, they have the capacity to work that event.
Okay. And Councilmember Rufinock is assisting you with some things. That's why she's recusing herself.
She has. We've learned that she has attended and helped in some larger events around the region, and so she offered that to us. So we appreciate that.
All righty. What would council like to do with item 7C then? Councilmember Hertzberg.
I move to approve item 7C.
Councilmember Geek.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, please vote. Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilmember Veerhoff, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilmember Geek, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilmember Rick, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilmember Hertzberg, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilmember Ruffinock, how do you vote? Oh, I'm sorry, Councilmember Ruffinock has recused herself, so I have 6 yes, motion carried.
Councilmember Rufinock, if you'd come back in, please. All right, that takes us on to item 9B, Resolution 26-027, a resolution to adopt the 2026 Pikes Peak Regional Multi-Hazard Mitigation Plan. Mr. Trilch.
Yes, good evening, Mayor and public. My name is John Trilch. I'm the Assistant City Manager, and one of my assigned duties in the city is to serve as the city's emergency manager. And so I come to you this evening in that capacity to present to you the updated regional hazard mitigation plan, or actually what is the final draft hazard mitigation plan for your consideration, and the annex, Fountain's annex to that plan, because it's regional, put together by Pikes Peak Regional Office of Emergency Management by communities all throughout our region. And so tonight you'll consider Fountain's annex to that, and then the base plan as well that was in your packet. So just for review, a hazard mitigation plan helps communities proactively reduce disaster impacts before emergencies occur. They also are required by FEMA to maintain eligibility for federal mitigation grant funding. Hazard mitigation plans identify local hazards, assess community vulnerabilities, establish strategies and activities to improve long-term resilience and public safety. So to summarize, a hazard mitigation plan that you're considering this evening is really about identifying hazards and then developing actions and activities to help mitigate those hazards. And so we're going to review a little bit of that here in my presentation. Next slide. Where's the clicker? Yeah. Sorry, I should have grabbed that beforehand. Yeah. Uh-oh. Huh? Yeah, it seems to be dead. Okay. There we go. We'll just do the next slide thing. Okay. So this hazard mitigation plan, and I'll refer to it as the HMP as well, so I don't have to keep repeating myself. This particular plan was developed as part of a regional multi-hazard mitigation plan coordinated effort through the Pikes Peak Regional Office of Emergency Management. So Fountain participated along with other regional jurisdictions and agencies throughout our area. We contributed local hazard information, capabilities, and priorities, and mitigation actions that were specific to our city. I'd like to thank the fire department, the police department, public works, finance, and others on city staff who contributed and reviewed this plan that you're considering this evening. Next. Okay, so but this is not Fountain's first time participating in a regional hazard mitigation plan process. Instead, this is actually an update to the 2021 plan that Fountain had approved and that corresponding annex. And so you can see here on the slide, there's a list there of various activities and mitigating actions that have been carried out over the past several years and that were also addressed and noted in this 2026 update. So these items demonstrate that the city has continued to address hazards and to take mitigating actions in past years, and that we will continue to do this in the next plan. Next slide. Okay, so let's first start with looking at hazards. This slide here shows the hazards that were assessed across our region to include Fountain. They were included in the 2021 hazard mitigation plan, and they were reviewed and then updated in this plan. They were also there was input that was incorporated by the State Emergency Management Department in the development of what you see here. So this regional hazard mitigation plan, as you can see on the chart here, identifies 19 total hazards that could impact the Fountain community. These range from flooding to wildfires, severe weather, cyber attacks, hazardous materials incidents, extreme acts of violence. The plan evaluates both natural and human-caused hazards based on likelihood, vulnerability, and the potential impacts. Okay, so those are the hazards that were identified in the regional plan. And now let's talk a few minutes about our mitigating actions. It's important to note here before I get started that while each of those 19 regional hazards that were on that previous chart were identified and categorized like high, medium, and low, that does not necessarily correspond to the mitigating actions that we've identified in this plan for Fountain, only with the exception of those that were rated as negligible. And this is actually by design. So FEMA, Federal Emergency Management Agency, recommends that you select mitigating actions that are achievable and that are based on resources and your capabilities regardless of the hazard levels. And that's exactly what we did following that recommendation. So with this in mind, the city identified 11 mitigation actions that primarily emphasize planning and preparedness, training, public education, and interagency coordination rather than large-scale infrastructure projects. Examples here include severe weather public education and outreach campaigns, active shooter exercises, regional hazardous materials coordination, cybersecurity planning, and flood mitigation activities. And then the slide just shows a kind of a sample of those that you can see in our annex. Next slide. To continue here, Fountain's mitigation strategy focuses resources where they provide the greatest practical benefit. So of the 19 hazards that were identified, 10 of them are directly addressed through mitigation actions in this plan. Several others are already being managed throughout the city and are ongoing programs, such as, for instance, the fire department's wildfire mitigation activities. There was only 2 hazards that were identified, avalanche and sinkholes, that were categorized as negligible that we did not put any mitigating action against. So nothing was assigned there. Okay, next. Okay. So to conclude where we're at this evening, the current document you're considering is a final draft of that regional hazard mitigation plan process that we did with our regional partners and PPR OEM. And that plan still remains subject to final FEMA approval, and that's why it's final draft that I bring to you this evening. That said, PPR OEM, our partner, recommended to all communities that we go ahead and ask the communities to approve that final draft while we're waiting for FEMA approval. We do not suspect that there will be substantive changes to this draft you consider. If there are, and you approve this evening, I would come back to you with a new version for you to consider again. But we do not think that that's going to happen. So if you approve this evening, Council, we will wait for the final FEMA version to come. We'll compare it. And if it's not substantively different and it's the same, then with the approval of this resolution, the mayor can sign that plan, which would officially adopt the Fountain Annex. That would make it the official portion of the regional hazard mitigation plan. And then we would move forward into the next 5 years of implementation of those mitigating actions. So pending any of your questions, I do recommend that you approve the resolution and this updated hazard mitigation plan for the next 5 years.
All right, thank you very much. If y'all want to read it, it's in 2 volumes. One volume's almost 500 pages, and the second volume is over 500 pages. The Fountain part of the plan is in the second volume, and it starts on page 204. I must admit, it's one of the first times in the many years I've been up here I've not completed reading an entire document.
It is large, and
but I did
put
read
it
the
into 6
Fountain
slides
part.
for you. Yeah.
So, yeah, thank you for not doing all those slides. I really, really appreciate that. Great summary of that. Yes, so, and it's so big, you'd have to request it from the city clerk's office and have it sent to her separately. So, I didn't even download it. I just, yeah, I read it. So, yeah. But thank you for all the work. A lot of work from a lot of people.
Thank you, Mayor.
Lot
And
of
if I
specialties.
one of the reasons why it's so large, there's a lot of FEMA requirements in there. So this is one of those mandated FEMA plans that once you put it in place, it allows Fountain to go out for grant money to help support the mitigating activities. So our partner, Pikes Peak Regional Office of Emergency Management, really did a great job making sure it's got everything in there that we would need to be able to get funding to help support these actions.
Right, right. Okay, Councilmember Rick.
Can you go back to the slide that has the negligible, moderate, as a big Excel spreadsheet? That one right there. There was one. Yeah, mud and debris flow. It says low. We had 2 bridges in Fountain that we had to do major work to due to mud and debris flow. One on Vanley and one on Old Pueblo. So I would disagree with that, but other than that, I have No other comments.
Yeah, I caught that one too. Councilmember Verhoff.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and thank you, Mr. Trilch. There's not a lot we can do to stop act of gods, which is the majority of what these are. But I definitely appreciate your work in trying to mitigate where we can to prevent the cost of when those happen to our citizens. So thank you again, and with that, I would like to move resolution.
I'm not ready for a motion yet. We're having discussion. We haven't sent it out to the audience yet, so hang on just a second, okay? All right. Okay, anybody else have any further comments? Yes.
Mayor, I can address council members' comment about mud and debris flow and low there. So it is a living plan that we can address over the next 5 years and include specific mitigating actions to address those concerns if we need to. While it does say that the assessment is low, as I had mentioned, it doesn't mean that we can't, using the resources available, still address that with mitigating action that benefits the city from that perspective.
I'm wondering if, what did El Paso County put on that? Yeah, they put only moderate, and they had a ton of damage around the county. So I would like to see, yeah, because it is very expensive, and considering.
I'll ask them if there's still time to move it up. But the part of it as well in those assessment is the overall impact on the community, right? The expanse of the impact. So while the debris and mud flow can have significant impact in one area of the city, it may not be as widespread as something like that was rated high, like a hazardous materials incident. If we had a train derailment that dumped chemicals and we had a chemical cloud and a plume and that type of level of emergency. So, but I'll note it and I'll ask PPROEM if.
Yeah, I wouldn't not vote for it because of that. I mean, I want to keep moving forward on it, but I think it is a legitimate concern. Okay, I'm going to take it out to the audience. Anybody in the audience have any questions or comments on anything on this information? I know Heritage Maintenance District really benefited last year when Chief Graham was able to get some crews out here and do some mitigating in the open space down there. And it was amazing the work they've done out there. And so that's the kind of stuff that we might, be able to get grants for to continue that kind of work, because there's a lot of that needs to go on in a lot of open spaces. So, all right, I'm not seeing any. Oh, okay. Please come down to the microphone and state your name for the record and push that middle button again.
All right, so my question is, with hazardous materials being so high, and you've already addressed train derailments and probably the interstate stuff passing through, what else is making that so high right now? I'm just curious.
Sir, primarily because we have large gas tanks on the south end of the city.
Okay.
That's looked at as a high-risk area
Sure.
because of those tanks.
Okay, and that's it then?
Yes.
Okay.
And if you spend much time at the 128, we constantly have those 18-wheeler gas rigs coming back and forth from that facility,
Okay.
which makes that whole area susceptible to that.
That's good to know. Thank you. Okay, I'm good.
Thank you. Okay, any questions for anybody else in the audience? All right, seeing none, I'll bring it back up here to the dais. What would council like to do with this? Councilmember Verhoff.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move resolution 26-0127.
Councilmember
Or
Geek.
27.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion for resolution 26-027 and a second. Any further deliberation? Seeing none, please vote. Oh, we're going to do, it's not working, so she's going to do just oral votes.
Part of you can work, just the two.
The two special ones
The
down
two
there tonight,
special
huh?
today.
All right.
Councilmember Veerhoff, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilmember Estes, how do you vote?
Yes.
I have 7 yes, motion carried.
All right, thank you very much. That takes us on to item 9C, Resolution 26-028, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Fountain, Colorado, awarding the contract for the 2025 Community Development Block Grant Construction to Concrete Experts LLC. Mr. Evans.
Thank you, Mayor. Very self-explanatory there. This is to award the contract to complete the 2025 CDBG construction project. For those of you that may not know, Community Development Block Grants is is federal money that flows through the county. It's a competitive process. Councilmember Estes has sat on that board for several years. I came off the board last year, and Ben Sheets is now our city representative. But typically, we have to cut multiple projects. So when we do get these, we're very grateful for these. Now, the entire city is not eligible for a CDBG grant. They're based off of low-income areas, which are certified by the federal government, and then the money again flows through, and then it's dispersed across the entire county. So this specific construction grant will be on Luna Drive down in the Carson area. This will be probably the last construction project that we use CDBG in that area. We've focused on that area for several years. So after this, we'll start spreading it to others. But this specific grant is basically for curb, sidewalk, curb and gutter, and ADA improvements in that area. So one thing I want to point out, although it says 2025, the process for this, the approval process was done in 2025 to be constructed in 2026. So Mayor and Council, that's why it says 2025, but it will be constructed this summer. So we ask that you would approve of this, and we will make sure that gets done in the summer of 2026.
Okay, so that's for $142,000 roughly
Yes, ma'am.
dollars.
Yes, ma'am.
And that is being used in addition to our regular roads budget is a grant that you received, right?
That's
For
correct.
$142,000, okay.
Correct.
All right, thank you very much. Any questions from council? Okay. Any questions from anyone in the audience? Okay, seeing none, I'll bring it back up here. What would council like to do with this? Councilmember Rufinock.
I move to approve Resolution 26-028.
8. Or 28?
It's 28.
Okay. I thought you said 20. Okay, alrighty, okay. All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second? Councilmember Verhoff.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for Resolution 26-028. Any further deliberation? Seeing none, please vote those that can.
Councilmember Verhoff, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilmember Estes, how do you vote?
Yes.
I have 7 yes, motion carried.
Okay, that takes us on to item D, Resolution 26-029, a resolution to purchase a new ambulance and amend the FY 2026 budget. Mr. Graham.
Good evening, Mayor and Council, members of the public. As stated, what we are bringing in front of you this evening for consideration is the purchase of a new ambulance to add to the fleet. This would be our next step and continued step towards bringing our next new fire station online. What we're looking at purchasing is what's called and what's deemed a demo model. There's a little bit of misnomer with that term, the term demo model. This is a brand-new unit that will be coming off of the production line, and we will take delivery of it with brand-new warranty. What makes it a demo is the company that we would purchase it from is right now considering building this unit to be used, taken to shows, taken to trade shows, fire chief conferences, EMS conferences, things of those nature throughout the nation. They usually do that for a year or so, and then they turn around and sell it. We've had the opportunity to put our name on this unit before it would go out on that circuit, and so we would receive it with 0 miles and with a full warranty. There is really only one downside to that is we don't get to specifically specify exactly how it's built. However, this is a spec that meets our needs. Roughly saving us about $48,000 depending on how we would spec a custom build. And right now, the builds are about 500 days out. And so this one we would be able to save that amount of money and take delivery of it before the end of this year. We're thinking sometime in the fall timeframe. And so in addition to the $308,225 for the ambulance itself, we're also asking for approval to spend an additional $186,000 to outfit and equip it. With this being an additional unit to the fleet, we're not taking anything out of service, so we're not able to take the equipment off of an existing unit to move over to this new unit, so we need to fund the entire unit, equipment and all. So through the total on that, when you add those two up, the total we're asking for is $494,255. Through collaboration, putting heads together of Mr. Trainer, Mr. Evans, Mr. Trilch, and myself, which was just a drain on the brain power of the four of us, we were able to come up with a creative funding mechanism that would have zero impact to the general fund, and I will hand off to Mr. Trilch for that piece of this.
Thank you, Chief. Council, to facilitate this purchase, it's my pleasure to let you know that as of the end of 2025, the IGSA funds, the residual revenue that we earned last year, is more than sufficient to cover the entire cost of the purchase of this ambulance. This is not local taxpayer money. This is revenue that was generated through our fantastic partnership we have with Fort Carson through our intergovernmental support agreements. And so that money is there in the pooled cash in the general fund right now, ready to facilitate a purchase like this. And it's very exciting, and I enthusiastically encourage you to, approve it, because this is exactly the type of thing that we want to do with these military partnerships. Because of what we do with our partners there at Fort Carson, we're going to bring direct benefit to the Fountain community. And so that money is there for you to decide whether you want to spend it, and additionally have absolutely zero impact on what we're doing here in 2026.
That is so exciting, because when IGSA was just a little twinkle in the eye, you saw what this could do for the city, and you have just run with it, you and your department. And this is part of building Fire Station 4, right? Doesn't do any good to build a fire station if we can't equip it and man it. And we've been working on the manning part, getting people hired. But this is super exciting that this is something, like you said, that doesn't have to come out of our general funds. And if you decided to order this, you said it, I think it says in here, it would, we can have it in about a year, a little over a year, right? But if you went out to order it, it'd be years.
Yes, ma'am, we think we'll do better than that. We think we can take delivery of this, depending on exactly when it comes into the production line, before the end of this year. So,
okay.
So fall of 26, whereas a new build would be estimated at 550 days if we ordered today.
Yeah, yeah. And we're taking whatever color it comes, right? We're not repainting it? Okay.
That is one of the things that we can specify at this point.
Okay.
We are able to get our paint.
But we wouldn't have to pay any extra. They don't care. They just want their demo. Okay, great.
That's built into this cost.
Perfect. Okay. And it's under warranty still, so there's nothing wrong with it, because when we bought a demo ambulance before, a lot of people in the community were saying we bought one that was broken, or there was something wrong with it, or there's nothing wrong with this.
Nothing wrong with it, and with that scenario as well, it was a brand new unit directly off the production line as well. So they're brand new. It just, maybe we can get rid of the term demo, but that's what it is.
It's like buying the dress off the mannequin with the tag still on. There's nothing wrong with it, right? Okay. All right, perfect. Okay, any questions from anybody up here? Councilmember Verhoff had a question?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Chief Graham and Mr. Trilch and Mr. Evans, for the hard work going into this, first off. And Chief Graham, what is the exact cost of a new ambulance if we were to get one off the line?
It's hard to say based on the cost increases the more you customize a unit, which that's where the cost savings is on this. This is a base unit that they build regularly, and so when you customize a specification, that drives the cost up. We estimate going this route will save us about $48,000 to $50,000, but it's hard to say because we're not speccing it for them to provide a firm cost back of a custom unit. So that's a rough ballpark based on what we think a custom unit would cost.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. And then, will this unit be used in reserve while we're waiting on Station 4?
If we receive it in time before Station 4 is open, which we certainly anticipate that to be the case, my idea would be to put it in service and use it. We have an ambulance right now that just turned over 205,000 miles, still running strong. But my thought would be to go ahead and put it in service, get use out of it, until it's needed to be placed at the fourth station.
Thank you.
Don't want to leave it parked while that warranty's running, right? Get it out there and shake it down what's under warranty. All right. I am so excited about this being done with partnership money. Is there a way to put a plaque or something on this to really honor Fort Carson for this partnership they've done with us? I don't have any idea if that's against city rules or anything like that, but I can't
No, Mayor.
imagine it would add that much to the cost of it.
We've talked about that, and we're going to have some type of signification up there of both IGZA, Fort Carson, and the partnership. We'll have to get them involved in the design of that, but
Yeah.
our plan is to do that.
Yeah, always make sure with the military you have permission to use their logo, right? Yeah, okay. All right, yeah, I think that would be really cool. Any questions for anybody in the audience? Okay, seeing none, let's bring it back up here. What would council like to do with this? Councilmember Geek.
I move to approve Resolution 26-029.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second? Councilmember Verhoff.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further deliberation? Seeing none, please vote.
Councilmember Veerhoff, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilmember Estes, how do you vote?
Yes.
I have 7 yes, motion carried.
Okay, that takes us on to item 10, City Council agenda requests. Are there anybody on my left have an agenda request for future meeting?
Yes, Madam Mayor. What I would ask is we put a red and green whoopee light up on top here, and when we vote yes, we hit the green and.
I am seeing everybody shaking their heads no up here that they don't want to do that, so your agenda request is
Okay.
denied.
Okay.
All righty. Okay, anybody to the right have an agenda request? Okay, all righty, seeing none, that takes us on to item 11, announcement of an executive session. City Clerk, do we have an executive session tonight?
No, ma'am, not this evening.
All right, thank you very much, and this meeting is adjourned.